guy's ex-GM.
Alrighty guys, this is going to be a friendly cast here. Up here in the top left side of the map, Frost. Looks like he's from the clan X Gamers. We have the red Protoss player, Arky. And up here in the top right, we have the blue Zerg player, ES Cypher. Alright. So, Cypher, having a really early drone scout here. Maybe Proxy Hatch is what I'm thinking. Other than that, there's no reason to send this drone out as early as it's coming out right now. So that's what that's looking like. And Arky is actually going for a Forge Fast Expand. A bit of banter here. And so yeah, it looks like Cypher is going to be going for that Proxy Hatch. And this is going to work out really, really, really well for him, because he's going to be able to block this Nexus here at the natural of Arky, and it's going to force Arky back up the ramp. He's going to lose his pylon or whatever he builds down here, and he's going to have to be forced back into his main base here, and then have to defend from there, which is really, really annoying as a Protoss player. So Arky's going to get in here and actually see the base of Cypher, and I think he may know what's going on, because this is a pretty low drone count. Well, no, it's actually, now that I look at it, it's a normal drone count. But he's going to be looking for the pool or the hatchery, and I'm curious to see what he does when he sees something like this. So Cypher going to send this drone down, most likely just to mind game Arky. Is he going to throw it down? I don't think he is. Okay, no, he is going to go ahead and throw it down. So the proxy hatch will be a little bit later than he would like, most likely. But again, this probe is just kind of going to run around and be like, okay, you're taking your natural, everything's completely standard. Looks like Arky is going for a Forge first instead of that Nexus first, so this is cool too. He's going to be able to play a little bit more defensive. He's obviously, if this proxy hatch ever does come down, he's going to be able to double cannon it and hopefully stop it from going up. There's actually going to be a cannon rush behind the mineral line here of Cypher. Unfortunately, a probe is going to die. Nice micro there on that drone, be able to kill that probe. And that's very annoying for Arky. Arky definitely wanted that cannon rush to work out. And here comes the drone of Cypher. He's going to get in here, and he's going to see, okay, you already have a Nexus, your Nexus is here, your Forge is here, and he's going to come back down here and be like, okay, you have a Nexus of your own. So everything's going good for him right now. Cypher also has his pool about halfway completed, so he can start those Lings and Queens whenever he feels like it. Currently gasless play from him, which I think is okay, because he saw that it's a Forge Fast Expand. So he feels safe enough to play gasless. He knows he doesn't need to tech up really quick. He knows he doesn't need roaches or Ling speed out very early either. So that's definitely a good read on his part. So Arky, the big thing is he's going to have to throw down whatever tech he wants to put down. And that's really going to tell us what he plans to do for the rest of the game, whether it be Stargate, whether it be Robo, whether it be Twilight Council for Blink or DTs. And Cypher going to go ahead and take his third base here. Double gas coming in for Arky, actually triple gas coming in for Arky. So this is going to be quadruple gas? It's looking like it. No, okay, the probe's just going to go right back up here in the main. So this is triple gas, so he's going to look to be very, 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 very tech-focused. This could easily be for DTs. It could be for a quick Colossus play. It could also be for quick Blink +2, which is a very strong all-in that Protoss have versus Zerg, that +2 Blink Stalker all-in. Very powerful. And hey, it's actually going to start mining with 1 on this assemblator here at the natural, so that's kind of interesting. Lane's going to try to get in here for Cypher, but are going to be pushed away by the cannon. 1 loses his life, unfortunately for that Lane. And still no gas for Cypher, so again, I think he feels safe enough to know there's really nothing that can punish him too early. I think he saw the Cybercore as well. Yeah, he saw the Cybercore timing, so he knows what's up. He knows nothing's really going to punish him. And we see the double Queen on the way, and there's that first gas from Cypher now. So we're going to have to see what that goes into, whether it be Ling speed, whether he forgoes Ling speed entirely and goes for a really quick layer into Roaches, or hey, even Mutas. It's definitely a possibility. And there's double Stargate here from Arky, so he's definitely looking to play very heavy Void Ray Skytoss style. So one thing Cypher could do against this is Infestor Queen, which is very, very bad at attacking. So what Cypher could end up doing is, because he already has that infestation pit down with those infestors, he can go ahead and transition into those swarm hosts. which are decent at attacking, as they're free units. Like, they're the most efficient unit in the game, basically, of any race. So it's definitely something he could look to do here, because I think if he goes Spire, it's going to be very, very risky for him. And this one cannon, man, still stands strong here at the front. Cypher goes in, sees that Warp Gate is being chrono boosted, so maybe that's going to throw him off here a little bit. We're going to have to see an Oracle actually being made here by Arky. This is very interesting. I was expecting either double Phoenix or double Void Ray. It's going to be double Oracle. And I don't think Cypher has scouted this at all yet. No, he has not. So he's going to have to make sure he gets in here and scouts exactly what's going on. This Mothership Core is going to be able to push these two lanes at the front away from Cypher's base. It's always nice for the Protoss. And looks like Cypher may be expecting airplay or perhaps even DT, throwing down a Spore Crawler on each of his mineral lines here. And actually, this main gas here is on 6 out of 3. He really needs to fix that. That's not the best. And there we go. He fixes it immediately. Cypher has that extractor going down now in his main base. Bring him up to 2 gas saturation. This Mothership Core going to come over here, and I don't think it's going to die, but it's definitely going to take a little bit of damage here by the Spore Crawler and perhaps even this Queen. Double Oracle still on the way. Actually, there's 2 out, 4 going to be out here for Arky here fairly soon. And this is very interesting because he's going to be able to get in here and get a lot of drone kills if Cypher is not prepared and does not scout this. Now this Overlord up here in the top right of Arky's base has been sitting here pretty much the whole game, hasn't gone in and scouted. So I'm not sure if Cypher's ever going to really know what's going on here. Now there's 1 Oracle on the way, there's a Void Ray on the way as well, so I don't know what that 5th Oracle is. Maybe this is just Arky's build that he does against every Zerg player he beats on ladder. I'm not entirely sure. Nice creep spread so far by Cypher, but here come these 4 Oracles. Are they going to do enough? The Queen going to be targeted out immediately. The Spore Crawler, though, going to kill 1 Oracle so far. That's really good for Cypher, but he's losing a bunch of Queens, which means a bunch of Lava Injects and a bunch of creep spread. But these 3 Oracles are still definitely a huge threat. Oh, another Oracle going to go down. The 3rd Oracle going down. Really nice micro so far here from Cypher. Able to get a couple nice transfuses. Able to run those Queens in such a way where the Spore Crawler is able to hit those Oracles. 2 kills on that Spore Crawler, 1 on one of those Queens, and I'm not sure where the other one is. I think the other one may have died, the other Queen that had the other kill. That's really good for him. Speedling's on the map now for Cypher. Looks like we have a Spire on the way, and that's a very curious choice to me. Because he has to know it's double Stargate. And now the Void Ray is going to be completely revealed here. And now I think Cypher is going to understand what he's playing against. So if he decides to play Mute, he's going to be very scared. But this 3rd base under threat now by these lanes was forced to cancel there. And Arky, he really needs his 3rd base if he's planning to play a Sky Toss style. These 5th and 6th gases are crucial for these type of styles for the Protoss. So if Cypher is able to just sit here and deny this all game long, it's going to be really good. But eventually, this Void Ray count is going to get to be way, way, way too high, and he's not going to be able to start camping that 3rd base and continuously force it to cancel anymore. And looks like Cypher finally going to get his scout on, see 2 more Void Rays in the main base. He did see the double Stargate, so he knows what he's playing against now. And is he going to keep that Spire tech going? Looks like he is. 13 Mutas on the way now for Cypher, so Arky, I mean, he has no Phoenixes, he has Void Rays and Oracles, which unfortunately are not the best versus Mutas, so this has potential to do a ton of damage. Now, Cypher does know there's a 3rd base for the Protoss. I'd love to see him take a 4th base, and there actually is one queued up down here in the middle of the map here on the south of his 3rd base. So that's really good for Cypher. I was expecting him to take the one that was west of his main, and that's actually looks like it may be blocked here by a couple creep tubers, which is going to be kind of annoying, unfortunately, for that later stage in the game. But I do like the south of the 3rd base, 4th location, as he's close to the Protoss if he takes the west of the main base expansion for his 4th. He's very, very exposed to these Void Ray attacks that we see. He takes 4 Void Rays, Mothership Core runs over there, snipes whatever he can, and then runs away. And there's really nothing that Zerg can do about it. Mutas have now hit the field, and they are on their way to the main base here of Arky, or actually the 3rd base here of Arky. And I don't think Arky has a read on this quite yet. Has he scouted the Spire at all? No, he hasn't. He's only scouted these 3 bases. He has no idea what Cypher is doing right now. And Cypher has Burrow, Pneumatized Carapace, Infestation Pit, and just more and more Mutas on the way. Tempests now for Arky, maybe thinking Broodlords with these mutas are now going to reveal themselves, and they're going to get one Oracle Revelation going down on these mutas, so now Arky knows exactly where these mutas are at all times. Unfortunately, those Void Rays are not the best versus these mutas right now, as I don't believe they have any upgrades. No, the Void Rays are on 0-0, while the mutas of Cypher just about to hit that one attack upgrade, and tons of spines coming down for Cypher, so he's looking like he wants to commit to Skyzerg here. Because really there's no reason to have this many spines up. If you see a Sky Army, it would generally be spores. So I think he's feeling very scared of any Zealot counterattacks, which if you look at Arky's gateway count, it's only 4 right now. So it's not the greatest. Actually, no, it's more than 4. It's 6. Excuse me. These mutas going to get in here, they'll get one more Oracle, and they're going to run away. Really nice play so far by Cypher, able to pick off what he can with these mutas, and then just back out and say, okay, I've done a little bit of damage, let me back out and see, and, see if I can't hit somewhere else. Double Phoenix production started now for Arky. Arky has a bunch of photon cannons and pylons going up in his main base, but his Muta's going to fly on the main base here of Arky and start picking off a lot of these pylons. Ooh, nice snipe there by Cypher, able to cancel all those stalkers being warped in. These 2 Phoenixes are done, and these Tempests are now starting to shell away at these Mutas, but I think Cypher has a big enough Muta count where if he wanted to, he could just literally engage. He does have 26 of those Mutas. It's very, very scary. +1 attack on the way now for Arky. And I feel like if Cypher would have at least went in there, he could have killed a decent amount of Void Rays or even a Tempest. And Tempests are very, very expensive. If you look at how much a Tempest costs, which I actually can't, as the production tab messes with that, unfortunately. I believe it's 300 minerals, 300 gas, maybe 250 gas. It's just a very expensive unit in general. And especially when you start getting these air upgrades. It definitely helps the Tempests, but versus Mutas, they're not the best, as they have very, very slow fire rates. So the Mutas are able to dish out a lot of damage before the Tempest can really get its one shot off, and then it's going to take forever for another shot to come from that Tempest. And that's really why I think Blizzard designed them the way they did, to deal with those Broodlords. Big burst damage from those Tempests, kill the Broodlords, and then just say, okay, now I could just kind of assault you from long range. And, I mean, they seem okay because it kind of forces the Zerg to kind of stay away from those Tempests, so the Tempest can kind of zone. But actually going to get a Twilight Council here is Cypher losing a Muta, and these 2 Phoenixes are going down on those Mutas right now. 2 kills on that guy, 0 kills on the other. Look at the Tempest, there's 4 of them now. +1 air attack, just about to complete for Arky. Arky taking a 4th base now as well. Cypher's going to have to identify this and take in the economy wars here. These Mutas flying back in, going to unpower that 1 cannon in the mineral line, but taking a lot of losses. Units lost tab now is 4,000, 3,875, so slightly favoring Cypher here, but not by much. It looks like Arky's looking to make a push across the map now, and this is very, very scary here for Cypher. But look at the Muta count, it's 26, and they do have that +1 attack as well as that +1 carapace with the +1 attack here for Arky. But these Tempests, man, oh no, all these Overlords. Oh, that was a bloodbath. But actually these Mutas making a really nicely played counterattack here by Cypher, actually running into the 4th base of Arky. And this is going to force him all the way back, and these Tempests are very, very slow and very, very immobile. There's only 2 Phoenixes here for Arky, so these Mutas are going to be able to reign pretty free until these Tempests do get back. But you can see just how much the burst damage of the Tempest is. Even though they fire very slowly, if you fire them in a big, huge volley like that, it's basically going to land if the Tempest is anywhere in range of those Mutas. So Tempest is very, very scary, even versus Mutas. I know I was saying they weren't before, but even sometimes I underestimate the power of Tempests. They can be very, very strong in very high numbers, much like the Carrier. The Carrier is much like that way as well, where if you have 1 or 2 Carriers, the Interceptors don't do that much. But once you start getting a good count of Carriers, like 5, 6, they become extremely scary and extremely hard to deal with. Templar Archives coming in for Arky, which these Mutas could actually snipe this if Cypher goes in here right now and is able to kill this. This would be a huge win for him. I don't know if he's going to get it, though. He's going to come into this base. There's a couple cannons here, but those Mutas do not care about those cannons. 1 cannon going to fall. This other building cannon going to fall as well. Pylon going to be shut down, so no more storm research, but the Templar Archives can still... you can still make Templar even though it's unpowered, so the kill would be much more beneficial to Cypher instead of just the unpowered. It stops any storm research that may be coming in, but again, he can still make those Templar. There's a lot of Tempests here, man. Look at the Tempest count. It is 9 right now, with 15 Stalkers. Archon's starting to be added to the mix now as well, so Cypher's going to have to be very, very careful in the engagement of this army he decides to take. Now, the third base of Arky is going to go down to these mutas here of Cypher, so really nice play so far. Able to keep that Protoss air army back as long as he needs to. He sees it moving across the map, and he says, okay, I know where you are. I'm going to go counterattack you. Much like these speedlings are saying right now, but this is a really nice position on these cannons here for Arky. Only a few lings able to hit those cannons and really forcing them to choke point, able to buy Arky enough time to warp in these zealots and clean up those lings pretty handily. Our Arky has had decent defense other than this third base loss. That's a really, really huge for him, and he also lost that Templar Archives as well, so that's definitely a big chunk of his defense and attack capability really thrown away there. But ooh, Cypher, you need to be careful, man. You don't want to be clumping up mutas with just the Archons, with nice magic thoughts here so far. Clumping them up here a little bit. It looks like Cypher is going to take the fight. I don't know if I like this so much. There's a bunch of spines building, but those are not spores, so unfortunately they do not hit air. They do hit the Stalkers, however. It looks like Cypher going to take his time here and really play it patiently to look to when to engage. These Tempest, man, hitting everything from really, really long range. Is Cypher going to be able to hold this attack off? I think with the sheer muta count, and even the transfuses now coming in, these Tempests are very, very, very tough, though. And all the mutas are falling. 20 mutas on the map now for Cypher, and they are all fighting. Actually, they're not all fighting. I don't know. Oh, the rest of the mutas are over here near the spine crawlers. Cypher needs to get all those mutas into the fight. Phoenix is now joining the fight as well, which is going to add a lot of damage to these mutas here in this battle. And these Tempests, man, able to do that kiting very, very nicely, able to just kind of kite mutas back as best as they can, and able to keep that range advantage. Now these Overlords that were left alive from the previous time they were assaulted are now going to die. Unfortunately for them, the fourth, or actually the old third base of Arky just now being reestablished. Here come the rest of the mutas here for Cypher. He's able to regroup them all and actually go right in on these Tempests. And these Phoenixes should get focused here by Cypher. No, Cypher actually not going to take the fight, understanding there's a lot of burst there. But the Tempest count has dramatically reduced to 5 instead of that 9 that we saw earlier. And there's lots of spores over here at this dead space. So I think Cypher's going to be able to go ahead and kill, and if he kills this entire army, this is going to be huge for him. This is very, very expensive. And Arky's really not making anything else, as he doesn't really have a huge mineral bank. He's looking... where's that Templar Archives? He's looking to make another Templar Archives to really start spending that almost 1,700 gas he has in the bank. But again, the Templar Archives was sniped, so he wasn't able to do so. Look at the Phoenix count. It's only 5 to 41 mutas here for Cypher. Good lord, man. So many mutas. 2-2 on those guys as well. So these guys are very, very, very resilient. And they also do quite a bit of damage. And these Phoenixes are able to come in here and do a ton of damage. I believe they have the range upgrade. Look at the upgrades tab. They do not have the range upgrade. I apologize for that. It looked like they did at that time, but they didn't. So one Phoenix was lost. Cypher did lose a decent chunk of mutas. Looks like he lost about 3 in that engagement there. Gonna go home, regroup with the rest of his mutas. And here comes a Zealot counterattack to this fourth base here of Cypher. And Cypher's spine crawlers aren't done quite yet, but he sees the entire army as it sits over creep right now. So this is pretty good for Cypher. They'll be able to run these mutas back now, going to be able to kill all these Zealots. These Zealots do not stand a chance. They can't actually hit mutas. And this is some really nice creep spread by Cypher as well. Look at this, all the way over here to this fourth base. And this fourth base here of Arky seems very oversaturated to me. Look at the worker count, 67 to 57. Cypher able to stay on very low drone counts due to just the insane amount of static defense he's putting down right now. The main for Cypher is mined out, the natural is mined out, the third is, I mean, it's alright in saturation, the fourth obviously is still very full. Look at Arky saturation, the third base is still going pretty strong, the main is mined out, the natural is getting very, very low, and the fourth base is heavily saturated, and these mutas actually able to catch these Tempest out, killing 1 and 2 of them, the third one going down right there at the final second. These Phoenixes going to turn around and try to do as much as they can, but the mutas engage them, but not one. Ooh, that one Phoenix getting a little overzealous there. Saying, I can take on all these mutas, don't worry about it, and actually paying for that with his life. Tempest gonna die now by the looks of it. Ooh, that Archon, though, getting a huge shot off on these mutas. And this is the big thing about that High Templar tech that Arky has. He can make those guys into Archons, and they are very, very scary versus clumped up mutas. They do so much damage. Archons are so scary if you're playing a style like this. 3 more Archons being morphed in by Arky, and looks like Cypher is being a little bit indecisive here. He's not sure where he wants to attack. He's going to go to the third base, excuse me, and actually take a little bit of damage there by a few Archons, kill a pylon, force the photon overcharge, but that's about it. Looks like Cypher is going to turn around now and go right back in here. Going to kill the gas here by Arky, kill 3 probes in that gas as well. And looks like he's going to be able to clean up the rest of these cannons. These Phoenixes, though, you need these Tempests as well. Like, these Tempests are doing a great job zoning out these mutas. Every time Cypher tries to run in and do anything with them, the Tempests are able to zone them out incredibly well, as they have that 15 range. Just absurd range. It's really, really nice. And these mutas are just sharking around, seeing if they can't get anything done. And, I mean, the Sky Army for Arky has been dramatically reduced, though, which is really nice. But a huge Archon count and a bunch of mutas getting caught in the middle of the map there by Arky. That's a really nice win for him. Those are the kind of pickoffs he's looking to get every single time. Archon count is currently at 9. That's so many Archons. It's going to be so hard for Cypher to engage directly and really take a decisive fight with all those Archons. Losing more and more mutas, and these Archons, man, almost had a trap on those mutas. Cypher was able to turn around, may get a Tempest here for his trouble. I think he may, as well as quite a few Stalkers. These mutas, man, going to town on these Stalkers, but unfortunately he's losing quite a few of them. Loses 2 Tempests there. Is Arky has 2 more in the back. Going to kill a ton of Stalkers here. Is Cypher. Look at the units lost, though. It's almost dead even here. 27,675 to 27,550. Very, very close. Muta count is only at 17, though, as we were at 41 earlier in the game, so that's a lot of gas that's been thrown away. But this static defense is going to be very scary for Arky to engage in, but again, he has these 2 Tempests that can slowly work down the static defense. More and more mutas being added here by Cypher. 2 more bases being taken by Cypher as well for those gases, and this has been a really good game so far. The muta's going to come right around back, pick off 1 Tempest, maybe. No, that Tempest is going to survive. The Archon's coming back saying, get away from the Tempest, you don't deserve to kill that. And they are able to force those mutas away for now. Looks like these mutas are going to come back in, though. We'll be able to get that Tempest this time, though. Unfortunately, this Archon's not doing their job well enough as they did last time. The other Tempest is going to fall as well. So that does leave the Tempest count at 1 currently. And if you look at the bank, Cypher has hardly any money right now. And the static defense is just not holding up. These Archons are definitely doing their job, but Cypher doing a really nice job of focus firing and magic boxing these Archons as best as he can. But those Archons just do so much damage. It's so hard for the mutas to really sustain those Archon shots every time they fire. But he's able to clean up the entire army nonetheless. And as again, we have the bank here for Arky. He's got 1,700 minerals, but he's only got about 100 gas to his name, which is hardly anything at this stage of the game for Protoss. Protoss is the most gas-intensive race. You need a ton of gas, and he's really working on Stalkers right now. But Stalkers are not the best versus this many mutas, and these 2 Phoenixes are going to be the saving grace here for Arky, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that much. 1 Phoenix going down immediately. There's 1 Templar here with no Storm. His Storm is never researched. These mutas going to be able to get over here, may get that Phoenix. No, going to target on the Templar instead. All the Stalkers are going to fall, and they're trying to kite as best as they can, but there's nothing they can do. Cypher has just such a high mutalist count, going to clean up the entire army there in the middle of the map. Arky now going to try to take a 5th base of his own, but these mutas, man, are on 3-2. Those guys are very, very scary. Cypher was able to secure these 2 bases in the bottom right as well. So this game is looking really, really good for him. Look at the base count. The 3rd base for Cypher is completely mined out. The 4th is still going strong, and these 2 extra fresh bases are still unsaturated. 4th base here of Arky's running low. The 3rd base is running low as well. The natural and main of Arky's mined out. It looks like the 5th base now under assault by these mutas. There's 3 cannons and a handful of Stalkers, but this is going to force a cancellation. No cancel. Actually, a kill. That's 400 minerals down the drain there for Arky, which I guess he can technically afford, as he has quite the mineral bank, but I don't like that choice of him not canceling that. Now, a couple mutas going to go down here for Cypher, I think. No, the mutas are going to go ahead and... Well, they were going to turn around and engage there, but decide against it. I think Cypher decided, okay, I don't really want to engage that right now. It's a little too many Stalkers for my muta count right now, although they are heavily upgraded. Look at the Stalkers. They don't have any upgrades on them at all, so actually... These mutas are incredibly good versus the Stalkers. Worker count 63 to 53. 10 probes ahead here for Arky. Cypher has been building a ton of static defenses, though, which is why his drone count is so low. 123 supply to 111, so Cypher's slightly ahead in that supply, but I think his army is the stronger one at the moment. These cannons now being under assault, actually going to target the pylons here. Is Cypher to try to shut down as many of those cannons as he can. Going to kill them all, actually going to kill the final pylon, unpowering all the cannons. and Arky's all the way across the map with all of his stalkers. Now trying to send Phoenixes back, it's Arky, but he might have sustained too much damage here. This is really a big base here for Arky, as well as that 5th base. That was a big base for him as well, but these Phoenixes now moving in to engage. Cypher turning around, killing 1 Phoenix, may get a 2nd one as well. Yes, he is. Nice micro so far from Cypher. And Arky going to come back with all of his Blink Stalkers. Cypher is going to be forced to run away, but he's running out of mutas. He's only got 27, actually. He's not running out anytime soon. He's got quite a reserve. Not sure where the rest of them are. I think they are all in this clump. That's definitely not 27 mutas. Here are the other mutas. Okay, thank you. The other mutas are here. I was just very curious. I was like, there's no way there's 27 mutas. 3 Phoenixes, though, for Arky, but again, his gas bank is almost non-existent. He has no gas. He's only working off these 2 geysers, as these 2 geysers are completely not being mined off of right now, as that big muted counterattack by Cypher was able to really stunt the economy here of Arky. So really nice play. Creep now going to be killed off here by Arky, so that's good for him. At least he's able to clear a little bit of creep. Those mutas are going to come back over here, this 4th base of Arky. He's going to be able to get a ton of damage done here. Is Cypher, as again, the army's all the way across the map for Arky, and the base is going to die. The Nexus is dead, so no more gas mining here. Actually going to go for the assimilators as well. And these Phoenixes, again, are still in threat. They're still in danger, rather, by these mutas. They are still a threat, but not as big of a threat. There's a ton of mutas on the map. 5 more hatching now. We have 39 mutas. 1-1 on those Phoenixes, but 3-2 in these mutas. Still no 3 carapace upgrade, which would be interesting to see from Cypher if he was going to get that. And again, Arky now trying to rotate his army down here to these bottom left side bases, try to defend them. But if Cypher comes up in the main base, if he snipes these 2 Stargates, I think it'd be really, really nice for him. Looks like Arky going to start rotating down here to these bottom right bases, looking to make something happen. Again, a ton of static D going down for Cypher. Now, those mutas are in the middle of the map now, so they're going to be quite a while until they get back to defend something like this. And they're going across the map now. This is going to be bad. These Phoenixes moving in, going to catch a couple of Mutalisks here completely off guard. And yeah, Cypher turns around immediately. No, he's actually going to decide to go for it, I think. Arky's got a lot of Blink Stalkers here. He's got 28. That's a lot of Blink Stalkers, but the muted counterattack coming into the 3rd base here, and I don't think that Stalker Warpin's going to be enough. No, nice pylon snipe, canceling all those Stalker Warpins. Now Arky desperately trying to take bases all the way across the map to try to extend this base races. That's what it looks like we're about to see here. And these Stalkers do have Blink, so they can really start blinking up the cliff, as we see right here. And Cypher is going to town on these buildings, and it's going to be really hard for Arky to deal with that many Mutalisks with just a couple of Stalker Warpins at a time. Cypher going to pull his drones down here to this semi-safe base full of spines, but again, I don't think it's going to be enough. Looks like Cypher going to come back and now start to engage this army, and I think if Cypher cleans this up, I think that may be the nail in the coffin for Arky. He has barely any gas, which has been pretty much the story of this game. He's had no gas at all. And here come these mutas. He's going to be able to engage these Stalkers and do a ton of damage to these guys. Here come the mutas, and again, these Stalkers only have that +1 attack now, but these mutas making them look like they are nothing. Like a hot knife through butter, those mutas go through those Stalkers. Every single Stalker dies. Units lost tab 48,400 to 39,275, so that's units lost. It's definitely favoring Cypher at this point in the game. And Arky's definitely having a very tough time dealing with these mutas. Now, Arky looks like he's trying to build up a decent cannon count at all of his bases, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, as cannons are not the best versus mutas. And again, he doesn't even have enough gas to build a Phoenix right now. It's like he had a Stargate selected, but couldn't build 80 Phoenixes. He didn't have enough gas. The Phoenix count is currently at 6, which in theory, if microed correctly, kills every single Mutalisk if they had a range, which of course they don't. It's definitely a huge deal. There are 45 Mutalisks and that +3 flower carapace on the way here for Cypher, so that's really good. We look at the upgrades, there is no Phoenix range, so that's really good for Cypher. If those Phoenixes had a range, those Phoenixes would be way, way scarier. 2 Lings finding this base down here on the bottom left, the other spawn location on Frost, and it looks like Cypher going to lose a couple of mutas here, but taking out 1 cannon. This is going to be a very annoying position for Cypher to break. It's very, very, very heavily defended with all these cannons. But Cypher's saying, I don't care about that base. I care about your main base. It's the base I care about. And come in and actually be able to kill all the production. Arky's going to go across the map. He's going to counterattack, saying, oh, okay, he's going to attack me. I'll counterattack you and force you all the way back. But I don't think Cypher cares at this point. He's got a ton of static defense here, but these Phoenixes are going to go home. 6 Phoenixes on their way back. And these mutas are already... Oh, they're killing the Stargates. No more Phoenix production available for Arky, so these Phoenixes are the last Phoenixes you are going to see in this entirety of the game, unless, of course, he rebuilds them. These Spine Crawlers going to town on these Stalkers, but the Stalkers going to town on the Spine Crawlers as well. And these Phoenixes are just kind of sitting in the middle of the map. Cypher, if you find those guys and kill them all, that's going to be huge. That will reduce the Phoenix count to 0, and there will be no more. These Stalkers, though, are going to die once again to this just incredible count of mutas. The 4th base of Cypher is going to die, but I don't think he cares too much, honestly. He's got enough gas and enough minerals from that base to really say, okay, I don't really care too much about losing that. These Phoenixes are in hot pursuit of these Stalkers. Stalker's going to blink away. And okay, the Phoenixes are now returning to this base. Cypher not going to take the fight there. Being really smart, just playing it safe, not wanting to take any type of risks right now. And there's still a bunch of bases on the map for Arky. I don't think it matters. There's a bunch of bases here for Cypher as well. 48 probes, 63 drones. Cypher has now taken the drone lead. Every time I've checked, he's been down in workers, but now he's finally ahead, so that's really nice for him. 161 supply and a 99. Gas bank starting to build up slightly here for Arky. He's now throwing down that Templar Archives again, but he still doesn't have that much gas. And again, there goes his entire gas bank into upgrades and that Templar Archives. This base here of Arky is going to be found by Cypher, yes. And the next is going to fall. More and more mutas joining up. 46 mutas on the map. That 3 carapace just now finishing. So these mutas are on 3-3. That makes those mutas incredibly scary. No fleet beacon upgrades. The fleet beacon is still up. He could research those anti-impulse crystals and make those Phoenixes shoot further, which makes them much more of a threat to these mutas. But I don't think he's going to do so. And the supplies, it's really crazy how little mutalisks actually cost at this stage of the game. Ooh, Corruptors starting to be added now for Cypher. I like this. I think once he gets these Corruptors, I think he can start to zone out these Phoenixes and start to go to town with these mutas. This muta count is so high at 46. That's so many mutas. 1-1 on these Stalkers with 2 armor on the way, so Arky knows he's going to have to fight with those Stalkers one way or another. He's trying to increase their armor to give them a little bit of longevity, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's a second forge on the way for Arky, but Cypher going to move over here and may actually be able to cancel both of these upgrades on these forges. Actually, will cancel this upgrade, kill the other forge. Yeah, here we go. These mutas going to come in here and get this forge. No, going to go for the cannon first. Going to go for the building forge. Going to get that. And he's actually going to shut down the research there by killing that pylon. The fleet beacon finally going to go down, so no more anti-impulse crystals can be researched. And again, a counterattack by Arky, but he has hardly any units, and the units are across the map for Cypher. So again, these guys are going to have to be sent back, but it's not as big of a deal. Look at the sea of Spine Crawlers from Cypher. Oh my god, so many Spine Crawlers. Ooh, the Blink Micro's not good enough so far, but I don't think it matters. I think Arky should be able to break these spines, but he's going to take quite a few losses. About 3 Stalkers going down, and these mutas are just wreaking havoc all over the main base here of Arky. Looks like Arky's actually going to be forced back by all these spines. Really nice stuff here by Cypher. I mean, these Stalkers have tried to do their best, but they haven't been able to do enough. Engaging into more Spine Crawlers, taking more unnecessary damage are these Stalkers. 1, 2, gonna go down to these 3 Spine Crawlers over here. 1 Corruptor could get picked off, no. Corruptor count is 11. So these Phoenixes are gonna have a very tough time engaging against these mutas, and here comes the final fight. I think Cypher coming all the way back home. The Corruptor is now gonna go to town on these Phoenixes, and here come the mutas. The heroes of the day, the Riders of Rohan, going to target down all of these Stalkers, going to kill them all. The Phoenix is going to be the first targets, though, and looks like the Magic Box from the Archon is going to happen right now. Those Archons are going to die, the rest of the Stalkers are dead, and Cypher has prevailed in the army battle. There's no army left here for Arky, but a Mothership Core and 2 Archons after these 2 Templar get merged, but that's not enough. That's not enough to deal with this count of mutas, especially because they're 3-3. Mutas do not care about cannons when they're 3-3, Arky. I'm sorry, they don't care. Double Forge now being remade, but that doesn't matter. He's never going to get those upgrades. Slight Artosis Pylon, there we go. All those cannons being unpowered now. They're all going to die, and now Arky is slowly going to bleed out now. He has no economy hardly left. He's bleeding money hard. At this point, he's trying to warp in Stalkers and Archons, trying to make something happen, but he's just, every single dollar that goes into these Stalkers gas-wise is coming back slower and slower and slower, as he's lost a ton of his economy. 6 probes in that 1 gas, but here we go. Cypher gonna move in here, be able to kill all of the Stalkers. The Archons are gonna fall as well once those mutas get to them. GG, says Cypher, and Arky leaves the game. No GG. Wow. 47-minute game. Well, big problem there for Arky was no Anion Pulse Crystals. Simple as that. Not enough Phoenixes, no Anion Pulse Crystals.
Yeah, I thought I'd see more Phoenixes. That's why, like, usually I mix in Corruptors like way before that. But he didn't. He didn't go heavy on Phoenixes.